In life, there comes a fire. Most see ashes and believe the story is over. Ashes are not the end. They are the birthplace of transformation. The phoenix does not ask permission to rise. It rebuilds itself through pain, through discipline, through purpose. And perhaps the greatest tragedy in life is not falling. It is remaining in the ashes when you still possess the power to rise. This season is for the tested, for the wounded, for those who refused to surrender their soul. Listen carefully. Your fire was not sent to destroy you. It was sent to remake you. Welcome to Season 3 of Your Moment Starts Now. The Phoenix Mindset with Tony Zotti.
What if the thing holding you back isn't your circumstances, but your mindset? People don't fail because they fall. People fail because they stop getting back up. The moment you quit, the future you could have had begins to disappear. Welcome to Your Moment Starts Now. I'm truly honored that you would spend a few moments with me. I would encourage you for these next few moments, if possible, listen without distractions. Not because this message is perfect, but because sometimes one single thought can begin changing the direction of our lives. This change may awaken the person you really are inside and set the course for a better and more satisfying life. Today, we're talking about the mindset that is keeping you stuck. I want to start by saying these words that kept me bound for many years. People don't fail, they quit. This was a revolving door for me. I know in the depths of my heart that you who are listening have been there and done that. I must be honest with you and say these things. Not too many people want to admit. I am willing to do so this way. Maybe, just maybe, someone will hear this and realize there is a way out. Dear listener, please stop. Take a breath and realize your life has a purpose. Don't throw it away. Look at all your options. Let me share a real life story I had to face. After this, maybe you'll say, if this worked for him, it must work for me. This is exactly what I hope you'll say, because I am tired of accepting lies about life. Life as an amazing way of throwing curveballs we don't expect. But we need to catch those curveballs and throw them back out with confidence and see what really is behind and see how we can benefit from the reality of our circumstances. Let me lay the groundwork before I share my story. Not all bad things that happen are negative. Listen, these things happen to us so we can learn and benefit from them. Here's my example. Before working in the pharmaceutical industry, I was working with the hotel industry. I loved my work and got to meet many different people from different countries. I loved to welcome them and serve them. I was really comfortable doing what I was doing. People saw it and had lots of respect for me. Again, my life mission was to add value to people, and I was doing just that. Well, here comes my curveball. There was an employee that was very jealous of my success and made sure he let the other fellow workers know I was annoying him. I always minded my own business and did my work wholeheartedly. But this guy made sure he was heard by the rest of the team, how displeased he was with me and humiliated me in front of my coworkers. Many knew me and felt for me, but this guy was a real bully. I did not want to defend myself and kept quiet. Now, I was beginning to be uncomfortable with my work and was intimidated by him. These thoughts began to run through my mind. I don't want to start a fight. Therefore, the best thing to do, I thought, was to give up and resign. I knew in my heart it was wrong. I had no choice but leave. Now, here's where everything changed. I went home and got in my room and spent some time in total quiet, praying to God for wisdom. I was led to this amazing scripture in Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. Listen to these words of deliverance. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. These words placed such courage and strength in my heart that all intimidations and fear left my spirit, and I went to sleep with renewed strength. The next morning, I was ready to go and have a talk with that coworker and let him know how I felt. To my great surprise, I found out that this coworker had been fired because he had been harassing other people. I stopped in my tracks. At that moment, I thanked God, not because someone lost his job, but because God had given me strength, peace, and a reminder that He was watching over me through a difficult situation. Now, this leads me to 4 perspectives that can transform the way we live. First, how we see ourselves. Second, how others see us. Third, how God sees us. And fourth, the way we see obstacles and setbacks. I call them the 4 lenses that shape our lives. Lens 1, the way we see ourselves. This is the first and foremost important item that will help us throughout our journey. The way we see ourselves will be our turning point in whatever we are facing right now. Listen carefully. I hope this will resonate in your heart. Before being set free from this mindset, I saw myself weak, unsure, and worried about my outcome. After I received my freedom, I never looked back. I knew in my heart that I was not alone in this fight of life. God had my back, and I trusted Him completely. There was a roaring lion living within me. When I began to see myself this way, there was no challenge too large to face and no obstacle too difficult to attempt. Now, mind you, even when the results were not in my favor, I did not give up. I knew there was a reason this was happening. I had to trust my spirit and be confident, especially after remembering these words. So do not fear, for I am with you. I had to stand on these words and go forth. Lens 2, how we think people see us. Putting our faith in people instead of God will have adverse effects on us. This will cause a negative deviation in our lives. This was not meant to be our guide, but our demise. When we put more emphasis on the way people see us, our confidence will surely drop. Many of us spend years carrying a burden we were never meant to carry. Between me and you, most people don't even think of you. They are too busy trying to figure out their own lives. They have absolutely no time to think about you or me. Therefore, stop, not tomorrow, but right now, this moment. Do not waste one more precious moment having this mindset. Take that weight off your shoulders. You were not created to carry such weight. Lens 3, how we think God sees us. I hope and pray this third lens will give you the following: peace, strength, wisdom, courage, determination, and faith to go on with your life and succeed in everything you do. Please stay still for a moment. I want to give you a gold nugget on how I see God looking at us as His masterpiece. I want you to imagine right now a jewelry box, a box we were afraid to open. Once we opened it, we saw its content. This jewelry box was filled with pearls and diamonds. This is where we became aware of its content. We were awakened to it, and we received this great revelation. The pearls were formed through pressure, like wisdom and character. The diamonds are filled with clarity, strength, and unbreakable value. My dear friend, this is the reality. This is how God sees us, and not as we see ourselves. I want to emphasize this in a deeper way. Listen to King David and what he had to say about how God saw him. In Psalms 139, 13-18 says these words, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, God! How vast is the sum of them! Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. Now, between me and you, are you going to worry about how people see you? Or will you trust your Creator that sees you as precious diamond and pearls? I think the choice is obvious. Lens 4. The way we see obstacles and setbacks. Many people quit just before the breakthrough, just before the lesson, just before the growth, just before the answer. I'm sure you have heard after the storm comes sunshine and beauty. Well, this is true if we remain strong in our storms and don't run, also, don't quit. Don't take the easy way out. Stay and give yourself a chance to see what happens after the storms. Don't say why this is happening. Say, what can I learn and use for my benefit with this storm? Don't say, I can't take it anymore. Instead, say, I have been here now for a certain amount of time. One more day, one more week will not hurt. Now, here's the balance. I want to remind you of what I described earlier when I was ready to confront a coworker that belittled me. That morning, I found out the coworker had been fired because of actions that affected other people. What set me free was not the fact that he lost his job. What set me free was that I stopped living in fear. The night before, God had already given me the courage to do what was right. The circumstances changed, but the real victory was the transformation that had already taken place within me. Had I quit, I would never have discovered the strength that was waiting on the other side of that challenge. Thank you for spending these moments with me. My hope is that something shared today reminded you that even in the fire, you are not abandoned. Take time to reflect on these thoughts, and when you're ready, I invite you to join me for episode 4, The Tough Lessons of Life. Until then, I'm Tony Zotti. Take care of your heart. God bless you abundantly.